I wait until 5:30 precisely, so just talk amongst yourselves for a while. How are you, Trez? You good? This would be right up your alley. We've got 20 copies of this. We got a little well, it's about innovation, state of innovation. Probably about 3 or 4 kilos. G'day, Karen. Good? Yeah, well, it's yours to have. So, Todd and good afternoon, councillors, members of the public, officers. Welcome along. I declare this meeting open. There are a couple of more chairs over here for those people standing or sitting on the floor. You don't need to do that. Please make yourself comfortable. In opening this meeting, I acknowledge that this is Wadani Noongar Budja, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Under announcements, I was saddened to hear or read that 2 of our former councillors have passed away in the past week or so. Councillor Wyn Rogers from a long time ago, and also Trevor Smith passed away on the weekend, I understand, so my condolences to their families. Councillors, we've received a copy of this very heavy Australia's Nobel Laureates State of Our Innovation Nation 2021 and beyond, and the city is actually mentioned on page 550. So I expect each of you to take this home over the next few months and read it page to page. Thank you. Thanks. Attendance, Councillor Steele is an apology, and Councillors Brown and Plummer both on approved leave. Thanks, Liam. Can I have someone move confirmation of the previous OCM, please? Councillor Kozisek, Councillor Giles, all in favour? That's carried unanimously, thank you. Are there any petitions, councillors? We have two requests for deputations tonight. Mr Cowell wishes to speak to item 10.21. Those who agree, please indicate. That's approved. And Mr Vasilev wishes to speak to item 10.41. Those who approve, please indicate. That's approved. So to those two, once we get to your items, I'll invite you to come up to the lectern and speak for 5 minutes. So, councillors, dealing with tonight's agenda, coming out at the moment 10.21 and 10.41. Are there any other items that councillors wish to deal with in detail? If that's the case, can I have someone move the balance, please?
So moved.
Councillor Steck, Councillor McCleary, all in favour? That's carried unanimously. Mr Cowell? Welcome. There's a clock in front of me showing 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, councillors and executive for the opportunity to be here tonight to speak on the petition item 10.2.1 on behalf of the Say No to Bunbury Farmers Market Committee and the Victoria Heights and Glen Iris community. The committee realises that it is a process that we're going through, and it's a planning process that we're actually going through. But tonight I'm here to speak in relation to the petitions as put forward by the Glen Iris and Victoria Heights community, and give some background in relation to those petitions. We realise that the petitions may not be technically compliant with the council's requirements or the standing orders local law in some way, shape or form. But I'd like to speak first of all on petition 1, which is the written petition. However, it's realised that the second petition, which is the change.org petition, the online petition, may not or does not contain all the requirements under the standing orders local law. And that is the name, the address, and they're not signed each individually by the petitioners. That's realised. However, petition 1 was actually a number of the residents actually went door to door to compile that petition. The brief provided by our residents that were going, a number of our committee members that were going door to door, was to explain the reason behind, and they were provided a statement in relation to the explanation that needed to be provided to each of the residents in the area in relation to the petition. And once that was provided, it was up to the resident to determine from what was the information provided whether they signed the petition or not. There were a number that didn't sign the petition because for one reason or another they considered that it wasn't what they wanted to do. But obviously from the amount of signatures on the petitions, there were a significant amount of residents, owner-occupiers, that signed the petition. And that is first petition, which contains the name, the address, and is signed by each resident owner-occupier from around Glen Iris and Victoria Heights. It took some time and took some considerable effort by the people going door to door to compile that particular petition, petition 1. Very time consuming and an enormous amount of time. It contains all information. The only item that does not contain is the name and address for notification purposes of the principal petitioner. That's all. But from a notification perspective, it's considered that each one of those people on that petition can easily be notified. And that's why we say technically. We understand, that it's contrary to a local law. That's fine. But I just wanted to, and we just wanted to, put in perspective the amount of work and effort that the group, the community, went to compile that petition. We understand, and we understand the current situation with the Bunbury Farmers Market development application, and that it has been placed on hold. What concerns us is, with everything that is going on in the background in regard to the structure planning for Glen Iris, the development of that structure plan and so on, and all the changes that may come from that, with roads and entry roads and all those types of things, is why the farmers market did not withdraw their application. But we understand and appreciate the fact that it is entirely up to them whether they want to withdraw it or place it on hold. The concern is that that application, that development application, can be taken off hold at any time. At any time. And subsequently, because the public advertising period has closed, so that's closed, we believe there is no requirement for that development application to go out for public advertising again. We hope that the residents of Glen Iris and Victoria Heights will be notified when the staff, the City of Bunbury staff and council receive information that the Bunbury Farmers Market has taken their development application off hold and it is to be returned to council.
Thank you, Mr. Cowell. I'll allow you another 30 seconds just to get across. I think your main points are made, but if there's another 30 seconds, please go ahead.
So what we'd like to put forward tonight is, and I know it's up to council, it's realised it's up to council, is really to council to consider an alternate executive recommendation. And part of that is to consider a fourth, or part 4 of the executive recommendation, that the owners and occupiers of properties within the Glen Iris and Victoria Heights areas be notified by the City of Bunbury as soon as the City of Bunbury's CEO and staff are informed that the Bunbury Farmers Market development application 2021/481 is taken off hold. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Councillors.
Okay, so councillors, we have the recommendation in front of you. Can I have someone move that executive recommendation, please?
I'll move that, sir,
Thank
with the point 4 added, but mine was quite different than the Speaker's, sir. And I would second that, Mr. Mayor.
I'll just get those words up on the screen so we know exactly what we're saying here, but what we're voting on. Just bear with us while we get the words right. So, Councillor Stick, is that your amendment or addition?
Sir, I also wanted to add any other further development applications from the farmers market to go to community of Glen Iris as well.
Yeah, there is a legal issue there.
I realise that some developments may conform with the town planning scheme, but the reason for this being in there is, as you would be aware, is a contentious development site.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So the officers will follow the legislative requirements. You happy with that, Councillor McCleary?
Yes, sir. I just want clarification though, when you were speaking there. So if there is a new development, a new plan put to city, it all starts again and goes out to community consultation.
That's my understanding. We follow the legislative process which applies across the state. We don't have a City of Bunbury process.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted that clarified.
I know. Thank you very much. Okay, we're clear. Did you want to speak to the Councillor Stick?
I think it's very self-explanatory,
Okay.
and I just ask councillors to vote for it, please.
Councillor Cleary, did you wish to speak?
I'd like to thank the community who have been conscientious enough and to take all their time to note what's going on in their community and before it comes to council, and I'd like to congratulate them.
Speaker against? I'll put it all in favour. That's carried unanimously. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the matter dealt with. If I'm happy for you to stay for the rest of the council meeting, but I notice there are young kids here. So if you want to leave without screaming and yelling, just quietly exit. But you're welcome to stay. We move on to item 10.4.1. I'll just pause for a minute while we bid farewell. And I invite Mr. Adrian Vasilev to come forward. I hope my Polish pronunciation is correct. Welcome to you. Same rules apply. There's a clock in front of me here. 5 minutes.
No worries. Thank you. Thanks for having us. I just wanted to put our spiel in for our property development proposal on Hasty Street. You may or may not have already come to a conclusion, but I just want to put my 2 bobs worth in anyway. So we started our plans, our main plans in March. We submitted our designs. We decided to go for a family home, our forever home, in a place where we grew up. We did get quite a few knockbacks in regards to the residential codes and the Mindalong Heights building guidelines. We worked pretty proactively with the council and Hargraves to amend those designs. We feel that we've appeased all the objections and everything's within the residential guidelines. It is a tough block to build on. I mean, there's quite a bit of retaining that's involved, but we feel like we've come up with the best solution to meet those codes and the guidelines, as well as for what we would like to have. Yeah, again, we think it's going to improve the overall look of the area. It might inspire others to build in that section. It's been vacant for I'm not sure how many years, but it's a little bit of an eyesore at the moment, so it'd be nice to have a residential property there, I think. Yeah, and just in summary, I think, yeah, we've met the standards for the residential codes and everything like that. It'd just be rewarding for us to be able to build our family home. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Someone prepared to move the executive recommendation? Councillor McGwell, Councillor Steck. Do you wish to speak?
No, I think Mr. Wells
I would just like to say thank you to our planning staff, because they've done quite an extensive review of the development application, and it has been a considerable amount of time, as the Speaker has said.
Yeah. Any speaker against? I'll put it all in favour. That's carried unanimously. So congratulations. So councillors, that's all I have. Thank you very much, councillors, members of the public, officers for attending. I declare the meeting closed at 5:45 p.m.